Hi guys, and welcome to Classic Television Facts and Trivia, or Classic TV Facts and Trivia, or Classic Sitcoms Facts. Name changes from week to week. This is by request. Somebody requested this, and glad to oblige. They wanted something on Gomer, Pyle, U.S.M.C., and here it is. It's 6 details you never noticed about the pilot episode of Gomer, Pyle, U.S.M.C. Take a look. And we'll start with this actor died before the episode aired. At the end of the episode, Colonel Watson, or as Carter called him behind his back, the old man, shows up to inspect the raw recruits. He commends Gomer's tidy bed. You might wonder why this Colonel Watson character never appeared on the Gomer, Pyle, U.S.M.C. series. Colonel Edward Gray, Forrest Compton, was a superior in that show. Frank Albertson portrayed Watson in the pilot. He is perhaps most recognizable as Tom Cassidy in Psycho a few years earlier. The actor passed away on Leap Day in 1964. Gomer, Pyle, U.S.M.C. aired in May of that year. Alas, Albertson passed away before he could see his work on the Andy Griffith Show. Gomer sings an archaic version of the Marine hymn. In the opening scene and later at camp with a bucket on his head, Gomer belts out the Marines hymn. That familiar song that begins from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. Listen closely to his lyrics in the first verse. Gomer sings on the land and on the sea. This would have been quite a dated version of the song, even in the 60s. Back in 1942, the Marines officially changed the line to on the land as on the sea to in the air, on land, and sea to reflect the addition of aviation to its arsenal. Would Carter really have tolerated a 22-year-old version of the song from a new recruit? It's the only time that Vince Carter's correct rank is used. Throughout the show, Gomer, Pyle, U.S.M.C. characters and fans referred to Vince Carter as Sergeant Carter. This is not correct. As anyone can see by the insignia on his arm, the patch on his uniform features 3 chevrons and 2 rockers, denoting that the rank of Gunnery Sergeant E7, 2 rankings higher than a mere sergeant or an E5. In the pilot, however, Carter correctly announces himself as Gunnery Sergeant Carter and gets his due rank. Really, we should have called him Gunny Sergeant Carter for authenticity's sake. This series' producer, Sheldon Leonard's real office is upstairs. Camp Wilson was, of course, not a real military base. The episode was filmed on the Desilu production lot. Behind the new recruits, you can see a staircase. Those stairs, in reality, led up to the office of Sheldon Leonard, the producer of the Andy Griffith Show. Andy and Gomer mispronounced Marine Corps. When Gomer tells Andy that he was joined the Marines, he calls them the Corps, pronouncing the word Corps. Andy then repeats Corps, of course. Gomer being Gomer, it fits his character, and perhaps Andy is subtly ribbing him. But it should be noted that the word is correctly pronounced Corps. Gomer arrives at a different camp. Did something seem different when he mentioned Camp Wilson a couple times above? Or let me try this again. Did something seem different when I mentioned Camp Wilson a little while ago? Most fans of Gomer, Pyle, U.S.M.C. associate the private with being stationed at Camp Henderson, a fictionalized version of Camp Pendleton in California. However, that is a long drive for Sheriff Andy. In the pilot, Andy drives Gomer to camp in North Carolina, where between Mayberry and Wilmington. This Camp Wilson was a brief location for Gomer, as the comedy shifted to Camp Henderson earlier in season 1 of the spinoff. Sorry about flubbing my words. Sometimes I have a hard time reading. Picked the right gig, didn't I? Anyway, like I said, this was requested, and I'm always happy to oblige if I can, given fulfilling request, which is part of why I'm here too. Anyway, that's for all you Gomer Pyle fans. That's all I have for you today. Classic rock and country music. Beverly Hillbillies Facts and Trivia will be back tomorrow. Andy Griffith Show Facts and Trivia is up and running today. As always. It goes 7 days a week. So you might want to run over there and check that out if you haven't yet. You guys have a great day. God bless. I'm praying for you.